Hey, bro, I got your stupid crown. Oh, shit! Got 3,000, motherfucker. Tree, you are not an elf. You look like Auntie Ethel. Take the vid real quick. Let's see what that's all about.
What's up, everybody? This is the
What's up, ActMan?
And the flow of time sure is convoluted, isn't it?
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land.
Hard to believe it's already been 2 years since Elden Ring came out. And in my opinion, it was nothing short of a masterpiece. Anybody who didn't like Elden Ring had their gamer card officially revoked. Given that From Software has raised the bar with the Dark Souls Trilogy DLC and Bloodborne, we expected this, Shadows of the Erdtree, to be even better somehow. The question is, does it live up to the hype and expectations? The answer's a little more complicated. However, the more things change,
the more they stay the same.
Like every major release in the Soulsborne series, there's some juicy controversy to digest. Once again, the flame has
There's
been
always
linked,
some
the
juicy
Age of
controversy
Fire
about these
continues,
games.
and the debate around difficulty has been reignited. Some say
There's always a debate around difficulty about these games. And why is the video quality ass? What the fuck? Why is the default 480p? Get that shit out of here. That still looks like garbage.
Shadows of the Erdtree is too difficult, challenging, the bosses are overtuned. It's bullshit. Many others are content to rely on the age-old saying, get good. You know, those 2 words are pretty motivating. Wife left you for another man, and you
Get
lost your
good.
job.
Get good. Get good.
Stop crying.
Stop being a bitch. Your mom died. Stop being a bitch. Get good, motherfucker.
Who's right and who's wrong? Is it too challenging?
Where?
To be honest, I've seen some pretty fair takes from both sides. I think there's valid praise and criticism for Shadows of the Erdtree, but there's also room.
No. One side is right and only one side is right. Which side is correct, I will not say. Now fight.
For some hot takes. And today, we're going to be looking at some of the spiciest hot takes for Shadow of the Erdtree. Ones that might make you go a little mad. So I'm actually going to take this off because it's really fucking hot in here. And maybe by the end of this video, I'll give you my own hot take. And what better place to start with hot takes than from the man himself, Hidetaka Miyazaki, who says, I'm still in the process of making my ideal fantasy RPG. While Elden Ring is not quite it, it's getting close.
That right there. I saw that shit on Twitter when he said that, and I was like, what is wrong with this man? Bro, you've already won. You don't have to keep spitting out bangers time and time and time again. God damn. Now, I'm not going to stop him. I'm not going to say, hey, quit. Why the fuck would I say that? He's doing a good job and I want more. I want to suffer more. I want to play more of these good ass fucking games. But for him to say it's getting close, but it's not there, what is the next game going to be like? Like shit, bro.
What is he smoking?
Exactly. What is this dude smoking?
Game of the year, not enough for me. You guys realize this man will never stop cooking. Like,
he's really not going to
leave the kitchen. Put the frying pan down, Miyazaki. Just put it down already. Seriously, bro made 7 critically acclaimed masterpieces in a row, and he still has the balls to say,
I'm not done.
More in me.
He got more in him.
Which I consider Elden Ring to be part of. I don't know how much further the bar can be raised. I think it's time their next project should hopefully be another sidestep like Sekiro or Bloodborne. Something that's completely separate from the, medieval dark fantasy style, and they can get more experimental. Still, I think it's very respectful to still be hungry when you're pretty much at the top. You know what I mean?
I don't know why I paused here. I don't think I have anything to say except bring Bloodborne to PC. I'm tired of playing at 30 FPS.
Like he's still hungry for more success. Since the discussion around difficulty in Shadow of the Erdtree is so prevalent, I think we should also once again hear from the man himself. Miyazaki on Elden Ring difficulty. I absolutely suck at video games. This
I also saw that on Twitter. He was like, I absolutely suck at video games. I can't play them that well, but he's still making this type of shit. This crazy ass shit that I don't have anything else to say about it. Like, what do you mean you're not good at video games, but you're making fucking Dark Souls?
guy, by all accounts, should have a massive fucking ego, but he doesn't. And that's what I think is so respectful. He just comes out and says, yeah, I suck at the games I make. Or maybe he's saying that to help people that do suck not feel so shitty about themselves. This next take is in Portuguese, so I don't know if it's a correct translation, but... And there are people who still think Elden Ring is better than Red Dead 2. Yep, see, there it is. There it is. Look at...
Okay. Elden Ring and RDR2 are two completely different games and two completely different genres. Like, basically the only thing they have in common is that they are third person. So I don't know what the fuck this dude is even making this comparison for. Like, that is a hot take, because what the hell are you talking about? Like, I guess you can compare your how much you liked one over the other, but they're two completely different games for two completely different audiences. My brain isn't following what the purpose of even comparing them is.
Look at the fire graphics. Look at that. I mean, Elden Ring doesn't have that. You know, it's not like Rockstar actually went through incredible crunch and somewhat horrible working conditions to achieve this level of detail. But we should expect that in every other game too, even when it
Absolutely
doesn't matter
not.
and it's completely unnecessary.
To really embrace life,
Ooh, ad.
you just have to learn to let go.
I'll let it play. Give ActMan his money.
Let go.
I did let go. Did you let go?
I'm pretty sure this is a shitpost. I've never heard Elden Ring and Red Dead Redemption 2 brought up in the same sentence.
Same. That's what I'm talking about.
Seriously comparing these two?
Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was saying just now. I'm right in my thought process. Why are you comparing these two games? They are nothing alike. What is the purpose?
Games, but there's this trend on Twitter where people will do these like weird comparison videos between two games that like are absolutely nothing alike. You know, they'll be like, look at the detail in Last of Us 2. Just look at the facial graphics.
Who cares?
No.
Who cares about that shit? Is the game good? Does it play well? How's the story? Who cares about the facial fidelity of the character? Nobody. The only people that care are the people that work on it. I don't give a fuck. If the game feels clunky and unplayable, I'm not gonna fucking like it. That's the problem with this shit. There is a place for like Last of Us 2 in video games, these like movie cinematic type games. Fuck, I love fucking Final Fantasy 16 now that you could probably say that that's more like it is an action combat game more, but they have a lot of those cinematic moments in that game. You know what? I'm not sure that's a good comparison. The point fucking being, games like Last of Us 2 and God of War, they all have their place, and that's all well and good. But they are games first, dog. Games. They're not movies. They're not TV shows. They are games. They need to be playable. They need to play good. They need to be fun to play. They are interactive, okay? I need these people to get that shit through their heads already. Nobody cares about the facial fidelity. Nobody cares about the graphics. We do not. It doesn't matter. If the game itself is good, that shit is just sprinkles on the cupcake. Who gives a fuck? Nobody. Seriously.
We're not talking about the story, just the graphics. Also, look at Aloy's Peach Fuzz. Look at the Peach Fuzz rendering.
Oh shit, let me also add this. Like, I play games where the story is also like just horrendous, but the gameplay is good. That's what keeps me there. Like, if the gameplay is good, nothing else fucking matters at all, dog. If the game is fun enough for people to just play, nothing else matters. Okay, let's play it. Okay, let's go ahead. I went on a bit of a tangent.
Better than Hellblade, the Peach Fuzz. Yeah, I know this is probably troll and a bait, but I'm gonna bite anyways. It's not enough to like their favorite game, they have to find ways to compare it to whatever is popular. Really funny how gamers still haven't realized that realistic graphics are one of the biggest reasons the game industry sucks right now.
It is.
This is a genuine point though. Yay, your game has a realistic physics engine. In exchange, you will get one game per decade, and the game costs over $500 million to develop. One flop and your studio is done for. It's fucking sad. It's a huge risk, game development. Speaking of dumb comparisons, Elden Ring. Create your own character. Make dynamic choices that change the entire story.
Where's this going? Where's this going?
World with 100 plus enemy types, 60 plus bosses, on-point landscape-driven exploration, lots of interiors, and some of the best reward systems in the game. Reused bosses aren't an issue since it has a ton of boss variety. World design is insane and lore is good. Insane boss roster, amazing open world exploration, incredible.
Where's this going?
Lots of
Where's this going?
Boundary pushing. Most open world games are unable to use interiors.
Alright, this dude, he is sucking Elden Ring's dick. He really is. I mean, I feel you, but let's move it on, dog. Like, what's the comparison?
Shows excellence in terms of world design, art direction, and content. Objectively, the best open world designs out there. So he's glazing. He would probably...
Yeah, he is glazing.
Nutsack if he could. Why is this a hot take? Because, compared to The Witcher 3, kill things, make choices that barely affect the story. A character either dies or loses relevance in the plot. Repeat for 50 hours. You left out.
Okay, I can't speak on this because don't shoot me. Don't stab me. Don't kill me for this. Don't unalive me. I've never played Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I have it, but I've never played it. Okay, I've never played Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I know other people that never played it. All right, calm down. When the game first came out, I think I was in middle school. I couldn't just buy whatever game I wanted. I had to ask and beg my mother to buy a game for me. All right? That's why I never played it. I had to make choices. And The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, that was the first time I had ever heard the Witcher series. So you might be able to understand that I was not going to put my, I wasn't going to put forward that game as one of the 2 or 3 games I could get per year from my mom. That's one of the games I'm going to get. I had to be absolutely sure I was going to enjoy a game. That's why I never got Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And at this point in time, I do have it. I just don't care to play it, okay? Don't punch me.
Fight monsters, bang hot chicks, get betrayed by them, kill them. Choices that barely affect the story. A character dies. When's that ever been important in storytelling? If you really want to hop into the fire, just go on Facebook. You will find some crazy shit. So I usually laugh at complaining posts, but this time I need to make one. This game would honestly be better if we didn't have to heal.
What do you mean by
full health bar?
Didn't have to heal? I'm not reading all this. I'm gonna let ActMan read it because I just heard the didn't have to heal part, and what the fuck? Let's go.
Let us divide our health and magic bars based on sacred tier level and do away with the stupid flasks. Seriously, the only reason I can't beat some of these bosses is because I constantly have to stop fighting to heal. They're not gonna get rid of a core mechanic that's like healing. Yes, you should be able to heal in the game. You have to make that choice when you're fighting a boss. Do you get greedy or do you back off and try to heal or try to apply a buff? I think there is a point to be made about how small the window of opportunity is in between attacks with certain bosses that like a lot of items and shit you can't really use.
Yeah.
There's a point to be made about that. But to like you want the
I haven't played the I haven't played the DLC yet, but in all the Souls games I played Sekiro, Dark Souls 1, need to finish that. I've completed Dark Souls 3. I completed the base Elden Ring. I've never played Dark Souls 2. I'm not sure if I want to. But point is, that's true. You have to make that decision about whether you're going to heal or not. And sometimes there are bosses that make that decision for you. As in, they don't let you have that decision. They kill you straight up. You don't have time to heal. There's something to be said about those kinds of bosses. But not taking away healing in its entirety, I'm not sure about that, Chief.
the full health bar? You just want that shit like stacked 14 times on your screen?
Damn.
You know what? Yeah, this is good. This is an
No.
improvement for sure.
No.
I have to heal up to 14 times per fight. That's ridiculous. Managing my stamina against relentless...
Get good. Get good. Heal up to 14 times per fight. Lord Numberland. Get good. That's on you.
spammed attacks is already enough of a challenge without having to come to a dead stop and endure a painfully...
Okay, ActMan, I'm gonna skip this one, alright? I'm gonna skip this one. I gave you the money the first time.
slow animation of my tarnished drinking out of a stupid flask. I want to meet this person and I want to watch them play Dark Souls 2 for the first time. And I'm just going to be staring in their eyes, waiting to see their expression. Dark Souls 2 fans be like, yeah, boys, who wants to get fucked up? Beat this boss first try with no summons, but it still doesn't count since I used Blasphemous Blade, apparently. Actually, you're right, that doesn't count. You can't use the things that I don't use. I'm just starting to think that Elden Ring is an easy game, but we have to force a bunch of gameplay rules on ourselves to make it hard. That's the ticket. That's basically Elden Ring.
That is basically any Souls game for anybody that's been playing them for a good long while. Like, I'm shit at Souls games. I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, I won't say I'm shit. I will say that I am above average. I'm above average, but I'm nothing like, let's say, these people that make all these wacky ass builds, doing no hit runs, soul level 1 runs. I'm never doing that shit because I don't want the fucking irritant in my head. I get mad easily. I don't need more anger in my life. I need chill. All right. So I will say that I am above average. I will use whatever is at my disposal. If you tell me I can't, fuck you. But summons, all that shit. If I'm having a really, really tough time, the only time I use summons, I will say, is against like Radon, like pre-patch Radon, back when Elden Ring first came out. But he was going sicko mode on like everything and everybody. I use summons there. I'm not sorry. I'm glad I fucking did it. Fuck that dude.
And you can see this in the vast difference between Elden Ring and Sekiro. I think Sekiro is the hardest game From Software has made.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
You can't bullshit your way through it. You can't just leave this boss and...
Yeah, you can't bullshit your way through Sekiro. There's no other paths. It's very straightforward. There's like, there are tools that you can use to gain like sort of an advantage, but I want to say that that advantage is kind of minimal. And basically you either you hit your head against the brick wall or you die. Get good or get got, motherfucker. That's all I gotta say for Sekiro.
and go grind some runes or souls to buff your stats. In Sekiro, the progression is very harshly gated, but in Elden Ring, it's open, it's free. That's the benefit of the open world, is that people have all these tools to fight the enemies with. You could argue the problem is that there's too many tools. It's a hard balance to strike where you're trying to make things that are fun, flashy, and cool, but also make them balanced. Like, if you want to cheese your way through Elden Ring, you can. And if From Software didn't want you to do that, then they wouldn't have put these tools in the game in the first place.
Those tools are in the game for players that can't do it I don't want to say the right way. That sounds incendiary, but those tools are there for people that can't do it the regular way. I'll put it that way. If you can't get a giant gut sword and hit fucking mold until he dies, like I can, use magic, bitch. That's what it's there for.
Being said, I think there are legitimate criticisms about like how bosses are designed, how levels are designed, the arenas you fight enemies in, and whether or not that's interesting in providing a unique challenge. It's not so much like I just want to fight a really, really hard boss with a tough moveset. It's also, how do you get to that boss? Do you have to traverse down some fucking poison-infested village to get to a hot spider witch? And is that challenge satisfying when you overcome it? Like, that's kind of the ticket with difficulty in these games. It's never really been about the difficulty. That's always been an expression of the harsh world, to immerse players into the game further. For me personally, I enjoy the challenge of learning a boss's moveset and all the proper timings, because when you hit that like 6 dodge combo and you can get through it, you kind of feel like a god. It's the same thing with parrying, timing attacks. It all comes down to timing.
I will never be able to do that type of shit. I'm ass at parrying. I can't do it.
No pause button in a single player game is just straight up bad design. I don't care. Well, it's not a single player game, but I get what you're saying, it can be. These games have never had a pause feature, and I don't think they ever will. The reason, I think, is because of immersion. Once again, when you cross that fog door, you gotta lock.
I remember when she said that shit. The pause button thing. Alright, I'm gonna just go ahead and say what I think. It's a video game. In an online game, makes sense to not have a pause button. Elden Ring can be a single player game. It's also an online game, and if the online functionality, if you have that turned off and you can't pause, I can understand being upset about that. But like, you can dead ass teleport places in the game that are completely safe. That's essentially a pause button. I believe that there is like a certain menu you could go to that functions as a pause button as well. At least that's what I remember that discourse saying. I haven't played Elden Ring, in a hot minute, so I don't remember. There isn't like an exact pause button. My feelings about the matter, I don't really care that there's not a pause button in the game. I really don't. The immersion argument that he's making or is about to make, I don't really care about that either. I'm just going on a long spiel to say I don't give a fuck that the game doesn't have a pause button. I really just don't care. Like, bruh, like her thing was that she was saying that she has kids and that she needs to be able to pause the game. Dog, just put the controller down and go take care of the kids. Who cares if it pauses or not? If you die, it's whatever. So what? You lost a few fucking souls. It's a game. Move the fuck on. Go take care of the kid. Come back. Grab the souls. If you can't grab the souls, it's shitty, but again, it's a game. It's what the fuck ever. Who cares? That's all I have to say on it. Like, who cares? And if you do care, reevaluate yourself.
That shit in. You gotta lock in, and it's just you and the boss in your world. You can't worry about what your fucking kids are doing. If you got kids,
You may need to pause to stop your kid from putting a fork into a socket.
little Jim.
Again, if you pause the game when you see your kid about to put a fork into a socket instead of just dropping the controller and rushing over to them, like, why are you wasting that 0.2 milliseconds to pause the game? If I was the dad and I saw that shit, I would be like, Mommy, get your ass over here. What the f are you doing? But I guess that's just me. I would, if I saw my kid doing that shit, I wouldn't care to pause the game. Let the boss kill my character. Who gives a shit? My kid's about to put a fork in an electric socket, dog.
Jimmy's gonna stick a fork in the outlet. Let him fry, okay? Survival of the
You're
fittest.
okay, ActMan, you're going crazy here.
Kid, that dumb's not gonna be smart enough to beat Elden Ring, so what's the point in raising?
That kid's not gonna be smart enough to beat Elden Ring. Okay, dog. Calm that shit down.
Him. But I think being able to pause like mid-fight would take a lot of wind out of the game's sails. It would take away from the intensity of a boss and your immersion within the game. Like if somebody calls me when I'm fighting a boss in Elden Ring, this is pretty much what I say.
Fuck! Dude! I'm busy! Call back later!
But it's like,
that never happened to me because nobody ever calls me. That's a lie. My grandma called me one of my last streams. That's a whole fucking lie. But that was important. She got keys locked in the car.
it's okay to advocate for more accessibility. I just respectfully disagree that these games should have a pause feature. I think it's funny that Kai Cenat, like the biggest streamer.
Grab your free circle bottle with this Mr. Beast special.
I skipped the last
If you
one,
haven't heard of Circle, it's probably
ActMan,
better
so
than
I will allow this one.
You can put a flavor cartridge in it and make water taste good.
This bottle unlocks the ability to flavor your
What even
water
is this
with
ad?
100 flavors using these sip cartridges. Just
Kirkle?
fill with water, fasten the sip onto the lid, dial in the flavor intensity.
I'm never buying this.
Grab this exclusive Mr. Beast offer and receive a free circle bottle.
Oh, it's a Mr. Beast item. Why would anybody buy that? You can't just drink water on its own. Water doesn't have. No, I won't say water doesn't have a taste. Some water does. Point being,
to a world of wonder.
just drink water, damn it.
Final
Get over the
Fantasy
taste.
14 Online. Take it easy and play your way.
I'm never
Whether
playing
it's
for
fishing,
Final Fantasy
Twitch,
14. I'm never playing it.
From software games for like what, 2 months, and he understands these games better than some longtime FromSoft fans.
It's a skill issue. I'm assing your ass. Your ass, though. Because you really, like, say it's too hard. Nigga, put your big boy pants on, go out there, and go fight. Like, what are you talking about? If you went through all that hassle 2 years ago, why the fuck would they make a DLC for you to breeze past and be done with in...
Oh, did I just speed that up by accident?
What are you talking about? If you went through all that hassle 2 years ago, why the fuck would they make a DLC for you to breeze past and be done with in a day or 2?
Guys, we're complaining about difficulty and
Ty. That is exactly what I was thinking in my own head when he said that shit. I remember watching that little video on Twitter. I be on Twitter too much. I need to get off that app. It's crazy. But point being, yes, Ty is correct. If it's too hard, why are you saying it's too hard? Get your ass up and go fight. Fight until you fucking win. This game isn't about difficulty, it's about perseverance. And if you ain't got the perseverance, then stop playing it, honestly. That's where I'm at on this at this point.
challenge, you know the drill. We don't fuck around here. I mean, okay, we bitch, we moan, we break our controllers, we give up, we call it quits, and then we boot up the game the next day.
Hell yeah.
Until that fucking boss is dead on the ground forever. Booyah! Woo! It would be disappointing if Shadow of the Erdtree didn't ramp up the difficulty, if we all just breezed through.
Bro, I thought that said prepubescent night, and I was like, the fuck?
But that would be pretty shitty. And I think that's the reason why FromSoft forced players to beat Moog to gain access to the DLC. Because if you can beat Moog, you can beat every other boss in the game, I think. Moog's pretty fucking hard. So at this point, when you enter the DLC, you're supposed to basically have all tools at your disposal. That's the grounds that you should be confronting this challenge on. But I need some spicier takes, and I think I have just the answer.
Let's hear him.
This
Let's
video
hear
is
him.
from a
Let's
very
fucking hear him.
small creator, so I'm not sure if I want to show his channel name or the title of the video, because I don't want to inadvertently send a bunch of hate his way. But I feel like he's so entertaining, I have to talk about him.
So I've been thinking a little bit about Elden Ring lately. Kind of how quickly it's fallen off, how it's irrelevant, how the
Fallen off?
salvaged the game.
What is he talking about?
In 8 seconds. What did he say?
Kind of how quickly it's fallen off, how it's irrelevant, how the DLC hasn't salvaged the game.
How quickly?
What is he talking about? He's just saying shit. He's just yapping. What is bro talking about, dog? What the hell? Whatever. Continue.
How relevant it is. This has to be masterful trolling, because right out the gate, I'm already angry.
There have been really
You can't be getting angry at this shit, man.
That have come from thinking about this game and the attempts at making this a cultural phenomenon.
Why does this guy feel like he's like Phil Spencer's son or something? Am I crazy? I feel like he talks kind of like him.
There's been a lot of damage control in regards to the difficulty, right? People are trying to gaslight those who criticize the DLC as simply having been filtered by the difficulty. Like, nobody is complaining about the difficulty in Shadows of the Erdtree, in my experience.
There's a lot of people complaining about that.
Simple. It's a breeze to get through.
He's fucking trolling.
He's capping. He is trolling. Cause ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
He's trolling me. There's no way. If you take what he says at face value, it makes me mad. It makes me want to convert to the Church of the Frenzied Flame.
Seeing like the response to my criticisms of like the DLC and the base game and FromSoft as a whole, I kind of get
FromSoft.
I've long talked about how other video game titles are far more hardcore and intense than anything FromSoft has ever done. You know, I've talked about Super Monkey Ball, Monster Hunter.
Super what?
More intense, and he brings.
What the hell is this dude talking about? Super Monkey Ball. Okay. I play a lot of Monster Hunter. Well, let me not say that. I am a newer Monster Hunter player. I just started playing Monster Hunter like last year. Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise. All right. I can kind of get what he's saying, but that's pretty much only for like the higher tier monsters like Altreon, fucking Shin Megala. Is that the name? Fucking Megala. Fucking what's the name? Fatalis. But even those monsters. No, you know what? It's like the same as Elden Ring actually, as any Souls game actually. The higher tier players be killing those shits in like 5 fucking minutes. While lower tier players are beating their fucking head against the wall, constantly trying to beat those types of things. It's basically the same thing. But to say that Monster Hunter is more difficult, I'm not sure. I don't think I have enough experience or worthwhile knowledge about Monster Hunter to do that.
Brings up Super Monkey Ball, but is he wrong? Bro, how this guy can say all this stuff straight?
I have zero knowledge on Super Monkey Ball. All I know about Super Monkey Ball is that it fucking exists. Besides that, I know nothing about it, dog.
Face, like, I respect it.
Something that I think really needs to be addressed, that needs to be brought up, is that Elden Ring is absolutely easier than the Dark Souls games.
No.
Easier than the Dark Souls games? I'd say it's about the same level, honestly. Now, you can definitely make Elden Ring easier, but baseline going in zero knowledge about Dark Souls or Elden Ring or anything of that, any Souls game, I would want to say it's about the same as Dark Souls 3. Many people consider Dark Souls 3 easier than the rest of the Dark Souls titles, though, so I don't know where to put that.
Oh, Bro, he knows his shit because he knows everything he's saying is going to be like super inflammatory. It's going to spark wild debates. Like
he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Hundreds of comments being like, "You're wrong, ActMan." Like this guy knows his craft. Like it's uncut. There's no editing. He only calls From Software From Slop. This is a good troll.
Like,
he knows exactly what he's doing.
Has been casualized. The fact that this is only just dawning on me now really just goes to show you just how little respect FromSoft fans have for the older Dark Souls games, right? They don't talk about them. They don't play about them at all. They don't care.
What are you talking about? They don't talk about them.
They don't care about the old Dark Souls games. Like,
he's insane.
It's a troll, but I still want to.
It is a troll, and it's making it.
There isn't real.
I don't even get mad like that. But when I do get mad, I get mad. But I know he's trolling. I know he's just talking shit. But he's irritating me.
Really much of a push to debate as to whether or not Elden Ring is better than Dark Souls, right? Aside from PlayStation fanboys who will advocate for blood.
This AI tool will take
Damn.
idea and
Whoa, 2 minutes? I don't think so, ActMan. I love you, but I'm not lasting 2 minutes.
Bloodborne being better.
Whoa, hold up, back. Didn't mean it like that. Whatever.
There is no real discourse on whether or not FromSlop has been falling off or not.
Saying this like just 2 years after they won Game of the Year and then releasing Shadows of the Erdtree to the reception it's gotten, it's just crazy. It's wild to say that they've fallen off at the height of their power.
And I find that really, really interesting that everything FromSlop does is seen by the community as simply being better and more difficult. Like we saw that with the DLC, right? Where everybody is trying to say that Shadow of the Erdtree is far harder than the base game of Elden Ring.
Is it not?
Is it harder than Dark Souls? Is it harder than Demon Souls?
Those are actually interesting questions because depending on how and when you played those games, like I started with Dark Souls 1, then Demon Souls 2, 3, and then I played them in order. And playing them in that order, like each one was challenging in a completely different way that it's really hard to describe which one was harder. Wow. A shitpost that makes you think. That's
the first Dark Souls game I ever played was Dark Souls 3. Everybody considers Dark Souls 3 to be not the worst in the trilogy. That's Dark Souls 2. But people consider Dark Souls 3 to be the easiest Dark Souls game, I think. At least that's what I keep hearing people say. I also keep hearing people say that Dark Souls 1 is easy. It really just depends on the person, I'm going to say. I am rubbing my eye right now, but I don't think I could, I think I'm with ActMan on that too. It's hard to say. It kind of makes you think.
Crazy.
You know, it's not as hard as Monkey Ball, I can tell you that much. But like, when you really sit there and really think about, when you really start to think about, like, wow, nobody I know is playing the DLC or cares about it at all. You know, like when you really start to like look at like, oh, 5 billion units sold, that's great. Except, you know, that's probably the absolute peak it's gonna get, right? You know, it fell off very quickly after that.
Yeah, it fell off after.
They're probably going to get more sales later down the line because there are people like me that probably have done shit like the stupid shit that I did, and you know, did not prepare for the DLC for when it came out. I'm probably just gonna have to play this shit on stream because I'm not getting anything done on Elden Ring at the moment because I'm too busy playing Minecraft with the boys. But continuing on, let's finish this fucking video already.
After 5 million sales, wow, this has been a real treat.
Like, there wasn't some major resurgence of interest in Elden Ring, and
you see what I'm saying?
He's capping. He is capping. He's lying.
I'm just gonna say, wow, that makes me angry. Great troll. Hey man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the great content. I love it.
I've made this comparison before, but it feels like Elden Ring is in the same boat Skyrim was a decade ago, right? When that game came out and everybody swore up and down it's the greatest game ever, and yet, like, you know, actual Elden Ring fans, actual Elder Scrolls fan, excuse me, you can't even keep these games similar. They're so generic.
God damn it. Ugh.
Okay, so Skyrim by today's standards is definitely generic. I will say that back when it came out, it was pretty crazy, actually. But by today's standards of how long Skyrim's been out for like what? It's 2024? 13 years, dog. 13 years of people just playing Skyrim over and over and over again. The fact that people still play the game over and over again, even if it's with mods, should tell you that it's a good fucking game. People like the game. The only problem with Skyrim is that it doesn't get new content anymore. The only problem, like, with people replaying it, that's the problem with Skyrim. It has been released or re-released so many goddamn times, and guess what? People still bought them. People still fucking bought them. Even though they probably shouldn't have. I'm even in that camp. You know how many times I bought Skyrim? I bought it several times, dog. That was a mistake. I know it was, but at the time I was like, another Skyrim re-release? I'm not about to buy this. Then a year later, I fucking bought it. I bought Skyrim for my Xbox. I bought the Legendary Edition for my Xbox 360. I bought the fucking Special Edition for my Xbox One and PC. I bought the Anniversary Edition on PC, and I bought Skyrim VR on PC. I also bought Skyrim on my fucking Switch. That's like 6 times I have bought Skyrim, and I should say that I regret them, but half of them were on sale, and the other half, I was on vacation. That's why I bought Skyrim on my Switch. The fact of the matter is, I am not the person to say that should be telling other people not to buy re-release games. I really am not, because I have made the mistake of buying it like 6 fucking times. But that's besides the point. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. Fuck it. Play the video.
Got me again.
Elder Scrolls fans came out and said, like, no, like, Skyrim is disappointing, right? It's shallow, it's basic, it's uninspired. Morrowind was better.
The debate around, like, which Souls game or
basic.
Back up.
Like, no, like, Skyrim is.
What do you mean? This ain't basic. This is the greatest fucking thing in mankind. Look at this shit. That's not Thomas, but that's one of the trains. I don't remember their names because I only remember Thomas. And I think, what was the green train name? Henry or some shit? That's besides the point. Look at this. Greatest shit known to mankind right here.
Shallow, it's basic, it's uninspired. Morrowind was better.
The debate around, like, which Souls game or Elder Scrolls game is the best in its series is much different than, like, are these still objectively good fun games? And the answer is yes. All of the Souls games are fantastic. It just comes down to personal preference which one you prefer the most.
You know, the Elder Scrolls has been going on for a long time.
Now he's talking shit about Elder Scrolls. Well, I mean, he's actually not wrong. I mean, Elder Scrolls.
He's not wrong. Okay, let me put it this way. Elder Scrolls Online does not count as an Elder Scrolls game in my mind at all. It just doesn't. Now, I'm also not the person that should probably be saying this, because the only Elder Scrolls game that I've completed and played in its, well, mostly entirety is Skyrim. Elder Scrolls 5. That's the only one. I have Oblivion, haven't played through it. I have Morrowind, haven't played through it. I have a bunch of games that I just straight up have not played through. Point is, I like Skyrim. I play Skyrim at least like 2 or 3 times a year. And I can't see that ever stopping until Elder Scrolls 6 finally comes the fuck out. So I don't know if there's actually been like a hard drop off. I just know that they haven't really released a new Elder Scrolls game besides, updates for Elder Scrolls Online. And again, like I said, that doesn't fucking count to me. I don't care about Elder Scrolls Online. I want another single player RPG in the Elder Scrolls world. And if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and people don't like it, I will say that Elder Scrolls dropped off, and I will say it dropped off hard.
Scrolls Online, that's the new game, Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, 6 years since the trailer, boys. 6 years.
It's been six. It's been 6 damn years. It's been that long. God, holy damn! I said, holy damn. What the hell? They need to hurry up.
Me, as a real hardcore gamer, how often, like, a lot of the people who advocate for Elden Ring don't really seem to know all that much about video games in general, right?
The way he slinks in those subtle insults to people who really, really love these games is
he's doing it on purpose.
It's just chef's kiss.
He's doing it on purpose.
Stereotypical, like, modern gamers, the kind of people who will seriously tell you that Elden Ring is hardcore, right? That is the Elden Ring audience. People who don't even know what's out there. This is the reality, right? They are like the Marvel consuming, like, mainstream lowest common denominator slop, right?
I will say that's kind of true. Before I get jumped on, that is kind of true, but it's true now. That wasn't always true. Back before Elden Ring came out, before the Souls games started becoming mainstream, that was not true. But when Elden Ring came out, I want to say, like, they got way more people into the games. Elden Ring did. And I would say that the audience is kind of like that now. The game isn't like that now, I won't say. I can't even say that, because they do have tools in there to make the game easier now, to make the game completable for the lowest common denominator. I will say that. But people still get mad over it anyway, so I don't think that matters that much. Point is, the audience is more like that now. Audience.
They are the people who show up to Adam Sandler movies.
I don't know about that. I don't know about Adam Sandler movies.
Adam Sandler movies.
I don't know about that.
Denominator. God, we have to finish this video.
But now, like, you're really
maybe not that low. Okay, maybe not that low. Maybe not Adam Sandler low.
seeing them, like, get more aggressive about it. Like, aggressively try to pretend that, like, no, FromSoft is the hardest game series ever. Oh, it's way better than Zelda. And they'll go to great lengths to try to discredit them and dismiss all their arguments, right? Because to them, not enjoying Elden Ring is sacrilegious and
it kind of is. It should be. It should be.
I'm genuinely surprised.
He's not wrong.
I think is a 100% troll actually got me to think a bit more critically about games, and I was actually, like, agreeing with a couple of things he said. Overall, great troll. Love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. Fantastic video. Made me super angry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what all did we learn today? Well, we learned that Red Dead Redemption 2 is better than Shadows of the Erdtree because of grass physics.
Of course it is.
Your decisions don't really matter. And
not at all.
Importantly, From Software has officially fallen off. I always
they sure as fuck have.
Around new From Software games, and it was actually kind of hard to find more legitimate hot takes for this video, but takes I thought were interesting nonetheless. But what do you think? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the ActMan for more awesome content. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the... Wait a minute. I promised you my hot take too.
Yeah, what's your hot take? What's your hot take?
Of them all. I was disappointed with Shadows of the Erdtree. Video coming soon. Peace.
Oh, really? I guess we gotta watch that video too. Yeah, this is the ActMan. Subscribe to him. Why am I not subscribed to him? Must be subscribed to him on a different account or some shit. I am subscribed to him now.